now, proudly serving those who serve. This is Around the Services.
Hello and welcome. I'm Sergeant Ted McDonald. Breaking the vicious cycle of addiction. We spoke with two military moms who credit the Army's substance abuse program for turning their lives around. For Brenda Foley, it's a story about weakness, giving up and giving in to substance abuse. But it's also about strength and renewed hope. Sergeant Ashley Bryant introduces us to this remarkable woman.
I couldn't stop. I didn't want to stop.
Brenda Foley's addiction to alcohol didn't seem to fit the typical bill.
I think I knew probably 3, maybe 4 years ago that I had a problem, that I needed to stop. But at the time I wasn't ready to accept that, and I wasn't ready to admit it. So I would keep telling myself, okay, you didn't drink last night, you're fine, you don't have a problem, or, go 3 or 4 days without drinking. And, well, anybody who's an alcoholic doesn't do that. They have to have a drink every day, all the time. And that's not the case.
Mrs. Foley has been married to a now retired Air Force Master Sergeant for more than 2 decades and is the mother of 3 teenagers.
Just to get through the day, get the kids to school, it became my best friend. And I didn't want to talk to anybody else. Just wanted that bottle. It didn't talk back. It didn't tell me I was a bad person. It was always there for me. It comforted me. It became my best friend. It was all hard stuff. I never did the light, the wine or the beer, that kind of stuff. It was all hard liquor. Yeah. And it was all straight. It was never mixed.
After many unkept promises to quit, she came face to face with the ultimate loss, that of her family.
The last day I took a drink, it was on a Sunday in the morning. We were getting ready for a Little League family day type thing. And my husband came home from my son's practice with him, and I was already drunk. It was 10 o'clock in the morning. And him packing a bag, ready to walk out, and my kids crying for him not to, was what made me realize.
Breaking the family apart made it sink in.
Seeing the hurt on their face. Yeah, and the hurt in my kids and my husband. I didn't want to see that anymore. And I haven't had a drink since then. And that was almost 2 years ago.
The next day, she came to the Army's substance abuse program at Fort Belvoir, Virginia, where counselors see about 50% military and 50% family members.
The number one thing is what drives a person to come in initially is a problem. Whether it's a family member, loved one, significant other saying you've got a problem, whether it's the police saying you have a problem, whether it's your boss saying you have a problem, or whether it's a doctor saying you have a problem.
Well, I trust everybody in the meeting. I can open up to them in ways that I might not be able to open up anywhere else. It's a safe area. Nobody's going to judge me for what I say, and that helps a lot.
I met Brenda's husband initially when he brought her in, saying she needed help, and giving both of them homework, having them do the work together, the phone calls and those kinds of things.
The first step in her treatment meant Mrs. Foley had to spend 21 days away in rehabilitation.
If we catch it at the point of their coming in and sending them away for inpatient treatment, utilizing the facilities that are available to us under the TRICARE system, and then coming back for aftercare, we find that that supportive niche is really important.
Things are much better. Much better. My oldest and I have a much better relationship than we did. The other 2 kids, they're great. My husband and I are, working at getting it all back together, and we're doing good.
Her recovery has been a work in progress, and Mrs. Foley still needs to work on the damage her alcohol dependence has caused. But there's no doubt about how she feels.
Fantastic. I have no desire to have a drink. I smell it, and it's just like, ugh, how could I ever have done that? Plus, I feel so much better physically. Mentally, I'm not clouded.
While there may be temptation, she says one thing she's certain of: she never wants to be in that place again.
Anytime something hard comes up, you know, it's always, well, nobody's going to know. But I would know. And that would be the hard part.
Marine Sergeant Ashley Bryant, Pentagon Channel News.
It takes a lot of courage to come on TV and tell your story like that. Later this week on Around the Services, we'll hear from another military mom, Cindy Booth, who's also made remarkable progress in recovery.
One night I was drinking and told my husband I wanted to die. I wanted to kill myself.